Tiffany here with Cards Crafty Creations. Today's project is taking this cheese dome that I bought from Home Goods and doing a diorama inside the dome as a decoration for I don't know, for my craft room or for my mom, whoever is well, she technically already claimed it, but before I even built it. But anyway, it's gonna be a diorama, a decoration for an Alice in Wonderland fan. So I do like to make Alice in Wonderland stuff, and I do have that in mind in most cases of what I'm getting. But anyway, so I wanted to do this. I've been doing some cloche dioramas this past year. I was getting them at the Dollar Tree, and I bought just about everyone they had at my Dollar Tree, and so I've been slowly doing those, and so I wanted to do this on a much bigger scale. And so what you're seeing is I went to Michael's, which my town doesn't have a Michael's, so when I went out of town shopping, I went there and they had all of this miniature stuff on sale, 50% off. So as soon as I saw some of that stuff, I already had the imagery in mind of what I wanted to do. And so I'm going to do a like a Alice and Mad Hatter and White Rabbit tea party type setting, I guess you would say, with those things. And so I got quite a few of them, so I do have them in stock so that I can do some more dioramas later with the same, like the mushrooms. And I got these little tiny, you'll see them later, they're little what are they called, macaroons, I think, those cookies. And so I got a few of those, and I got some other stuff that actually isn't in this video, but it's in preparation for some more dioramas. But I wanted to, as soon as I saw that little like wicker chair and table, I was like, yep, that's what I'm doing. So I got this, like I said, I got this cheese dome from Home Goods. I didn't know it was a cheese dome. I thought, in my mind, you just put decorations in it, but I guess it does have an actual functioning purpose for the kitchen, but I've never put cheese in them. I've always just put decorations. So 2 years ago, 2022, my husband and I renewed our vows for our 20-year anniversary, and our ceremony and reception was Alice in Wonderland. So all of my decorations, my table settings were set up in an Alice in Wonderland theme. I had actually games for people to play. I did a like a scavenger hunt. We did it at my mom's house in her backyard, and we went all out. And so that greenery that you saw me use, I had a lot of it. I still have a lot of it. I got it at Hobby Lobby that year, and it's just perfect for doing like fake grass. And it does come like, it's like a runner. The one I got was a runner, and so I cut it into several pieces and put it throughout the setting for our celebration. But so I have it here, and I am going to use it when I can, and I just pull the backing off. Otherwise it's way too thick, and I would never be able to have these things standing up on it if it was as thick as it really was. So I always pull the back off of them and just have it as thin as I can for the grass so you can put things in it. So that's what you saw me doing with that. I don't know if Hobby Lobby still, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have it somewhere. This was like part of their spring collection, so it was on super sale and stuff, but they may have it in like the area they have the moss and stuff. So, but I'm sure you can find stuff like that, but I have plenty, so I'll be using it for probably the rest of my life. Anyway, and so what I also did was I have an ephemera pack from an Alice in Wonderland set I have, and I think I showed it earlier, but I really don't remember what the collection is, like what company it is. I've had it for a really long time. And so I took some of these ephemera cut aparts out, and I'm going to use those as my characters. And I'm cutting off not all of the white edge, but a lot of the white edge, because it was just too much, and I wanted it to not be so obvious. And this is just chipboard. I'm putting it on the back of all of these so it gives them some stability for standing up and not falling down, or over time, like folding or whatever time does to paper. So I'm putting some chipboard on the back, and then I'll paint it white so it's a little bit camouflaged. And that does serve a good purpose. It gives it some stability, and then it gives me more base to adhere it to the grass. But I will go back and add some additional support to it, because I did not like how they kind of leaned back a little bit. I didn't like that. So I made a wedge to go behind it to push the character back up. And then I covered that with actual moss. So all things that you kind of, when you're doing things like this, dioramas, or like the last thing I did with the picture and the rabbit ears, like there's no practicing before. You just kind of do it as you go, and if it doesn't work the way you want, you refigure out how you get it to work. And so when these characters weren't standing up the way I wanted them to, which was straight and not leaning backwards, I just created kind of like a box or couple wedges with the chipboard and glued it to the back, and that kind of propped it up a little bit better. And so that was my solution to getting it to do what I want. And I know that the Mad Hatter is only a bust, and he doesn't have the rest of his body, and I'm aware of that. And so I strategically placed him in the chair to where it appears he is leaning on the table, and you really don't notice that he doesn't have the rest of his body unless you look at it from a certain angle. But that's not how this diorama is designed to be displayed. It's designed to be displayed at a specific angle so you don't see that. But you'll see as I build it what I'm talking about. And you'll see the point of which it shows he has no legs, and then the point in which it's meant to be. Now, this is my first time ever doing something like this, videoing something like this. I've never videoed in this perspective before. Everything I've built or done has been top down, and so this was kind of challenging for me. And I'm not going to say that I am thoroughly impressed with this part of the video, this part of the build. I'm trying to show you how I'm putting it together, but I'm also, you can see me in the picture, and it picks up a lot of my desk, and so I think the focus kind of gets lost on what I'm doing. So I will be having to figure out a different way to video project builds like this, and I'm not really sure how to do it yet. So that's going to take me a couple of experiments. This was my first time ever doing it like this, and so I definitely need to place my camera somewhere else, not be in the picture so much, maybe focus in more on where I'm actually building. So those are all things that I need to learn from this video. So it's not the greatest, but I wanted to still show you how I built this home decor piece. And this is me trying to get those to stand up. So you can see I'm gluing some chipboard to the back of them just to give them some more base to hold it up. And then I'll cover it with, I have a whole box of all different types of moss. I even found pink moss at Michael's when I was getting this stuff. So of course I had to buy not one, but 2 bags of it, because that's a rare thing. And I want to make sure that I don't run out in my lifetime. So 2 bags of pink moss, and I used it on a different project already. You'll see that project coming up here in a few weeks. It's a magical dragon like picture, like using moss and flowers and a most beautiful imagery of a magical dragon. So that's totally out of the norm for me. I've never really built anything with a dragon. It's always fun. Rabbits, cats, Alice in Wonderland. I mean, it's flowers. It's always hedgehogs, cows. Like, it's never dragons. I've never done anything with a dragon. But when I saw that picture, I said, I got a plan for that. So you'll see that one coming up in a couple weeks. But anyway, so I also in my stash have these dried out, I have no clue what it is. It was like in the super clearance area at Michael's, and it's just dry sprigs of something, and to me, for my dioramas, look like trees, and so that's how I use them, as if they were trees. And so I'll put those on. I have some actually from Hobby Lobby in their miniature supply area. They have those green balls. They're actually foam, and they have them to make them look like hedges, like you would see in like a castle hedge. So they have round ones and long skinny ones and triangle ones, and so that's where those came from, which is fitting for the Alice in Wonderland theme, because the Disney cartoon, like the tea party, is behind a bunch of brush and bushes and stuff, and so I just thought those were fitting for this. And then I go oh yes, those mushrooms. I have a lot of mushrooms, but at Michael's they had pink mushrooms and turquoise mushrooms and orange mushrooms, and not just the standard red and white polka dot mushrooms. So I got some of those, and I'll be using those in my builds as well. And then I go through my stash, and I have a bunch of little flowers that I got from Hobby Lobby. They are just the perfect size to add just a little flower. It's not overwhelming. I use them on a lot of things. It's like my favorite go-to flower filler is those little tiny ones. And so they come in a lot of colors. All colors. And so I just go through and put them wherever I feel that they are fitting for it. So I think that's about all I do. I think that's going to wrap up the stuff I'm doing. Oh, and I did go to the jewelry section in Hobby Lobby, and I think it's Fairy Tales, or it's the one next to that, and they have like these charms, these like teapot and teacup charms, and so I bought those, and I put a teacup on the table next to the teapot. And yes, I am absolutely aware that it is not to scale whatsoever, and I'm okay with that because it's Alice in Wonderland and I don't know anything that's to scale there. So anyways, this is the build. Here is the close-up. See, here I'm coming around, and at that angle you can't tell he doesn't have any legs. And in this angle, it looks like he's just talking to Alice, which is the whole point of trying to kind of mask him to not bring attention to him not having a full body. But Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!